Om Prajapatischarati Garbe Antarajayamano Bahuda Vijayate Tasya Yonim Paripashyanti Dhiras Tasminnah Tastur Bhuvanani Vishwa. This is 19th mantra of Purush Sukta, Vedas 31st chapter. I made a video on this topic I think around 1 year back or 1.5 years back when people asked a question about the avatarvad from this mantra. I will try to re-clarify this mantra because many doubts have recently arisen on this mantra. That this mantra speaks about Bahuda Vijayate, how that one becomes many, how that one Almighty God will become manifested into this universe. So the question also is that this mantra supports the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta philosophy. So I would like to re-clarify the meaning of this mantra once again. But before going to this mantra, there is one more question that you say that your Vedas say that God is omnipresent. Whereas I have been reading Quran and Quran says that Almighty God is in the 7th Asman or 7th sky. So how do I believe that your Paramatma is omnipresent? I have not read Quran about this verse that God lives in the 7th Asman. I don't know if it is true or false. But considering this person has read Quran and he says that God is living in 7th sky, and also I have listened to many Muslim scholars who say the same, that God is Uparwala, he lives in the 7th Asman. How do I believe that Paramatma is omnipresent? What is the need for Paramatma to be omnipresent? That is the main question. So I made a video on this topic also some time back when Zakir Naik spoke about the similar point about God's omnipresence in Vedas and God need not be omnipresent. I tried to explain logically with the help of a TV remote control example. Like I sit here and my TV is in front of me at around some meters, some feet distance, some 5-6 feet away from me the TV is there. So I have a remote here or I have an air condition there. So this is the air condition remote. See, I'm going to switch on the air condition. Now the air condition is on. So my air condition is around 4.5 feet away from me. So I am sitting here and I'm able to control the temperature. I'm able to switch on the air condition, switch off. Now I'm going to switch off the air condition. So it's switch off now. So I'm able to control the air condition from a distance. So similarly, if God is not present at that place, how does God receive information about what is happening inside our mind? How does God receive information about this universe? So God has to have an instrument like remote control, and God has to have an instrument like not only for controlling, for receiving information also, God has to have some instruments to receive information, to control information. And the question arises, who creates that remote control? Why God creates a remote control and how does he create? And if there is any malfunctioning in the remote control, how does God receive the right information? These kind of questions arises. So that's why God cannot be at a distance. God has to be at the place. That's what Vedas very clearly says. Vedas says, Sa Pariyagat Shukram. He is Pariyagat means he is omnipresent. Sa means that Paramatma, which is coming from the previous mantra reference. Saha Pariyagat. He is always present everywhere, omnipresent. So if I am present at this place in this moment, I can exactly know what's happening here. If I am present here and then I am taking information from my daughter on what's happening in the next room, from my friend on what's happening in his house, from somebody else, or through a remote control or through a drone or through an instrument, then the error that happens in the instrument or that instrument needs some power and there is a power failure, there are many chances of me missing that activity or receiving information about that activity so that I am able to do a justice properly. So that's why Paramatma very clearly mentions about his omnipresence, that I am present inside your mind. The same mantra here, Purush Sukta 19th mantra also says, Garbe Antara, Garbhastha Jivatma. Garbe means what? One who is sthit inside the mother's womb, one who takes birth through Garbha. Garbe Antara, one Garbhastha Jivatma. Jivatma is having the tendency to take birth. So Paramatma is Antarajayamano. He is inside the Garbha, he is inside the Jiva. Here Garbhe means Jivatma. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati writes Garbhe means, the meaning of Garbhe is Garbhaste Jivatmani. Jivatmani. Paramatma is inside the Jivatma. So whatever karma we do, Paramatma knows as it is. Even if I am thinking bad about somebody, Paramatma knows that without any error, because he is present there. He is the witness there. There are so many mantras which speaks about, like, the famous Rigveda mantra which says about the Dvasuparna Sayuja Sakaya. I made a video based on Satyartha Prakash explanation, really beautiful explanation, where very clearly Paramatma says, Anshanan means there are two birds inside the tree. The tree is there are two birds in the tree, and two birds are Jivatma and Paramatma. One is eating the fruit of the tree, the other one is not eating, Anshan. It is not eating and it is just witnessing the other bird. So the bird is present everywhere. That the Paramatma is present everywhere, inside, even inside the Jivatma. So Paramatma receives the information of this universe as it is, without any error, without depending upon any other third instrument. For example, I tried to switch off the remote, AC. When I switched it on, it was easily switching on. And when I tried to switch off the AC, it took 3 times for me to press the button and switch off the AC. Because the battery is low or whatever it is. The signal, there is an obstruction there. So we must understand that Paramatma has to be omnipresent. If you believe in Paramatma, he has to be omnipresent. If you don't believe in Paramatma, that's a different case, different topic for discussion. Why Paramatma has to exist? What is the logical proof of Paramatma to exist? So Paramatma has to be omnipresent. That is why he is called as, in the Yoga Sutra, there is a very beautiful sutra. The sutra is 1/25. Patanjali Muni says, Tatra Niratishayam Sarvajna Bijam. Sarvajna Bijam. Paramatma is Sarvajna. How he is Sarvajna? Because of his omnipresence. He knows everything that's happening across the universe. And he knows to control the Prakriti, quanta particles, or quanta to the quanta particles. That's Prakriti. He is able to control it because he is inside that. He can, just like heat, just like the fire which gets pervaded into the steel, into the iron bar. Similarly, Paramatma pervades into this entire universe and is omnipresent in this universe. So that is why Paramatma has to be omnipresent, and that is why Paramatma is omnipresent. So this is the important thing for all of us to understand, that Paramatma is watching us 24/7. He does not live in the 7th asman. So this is one important thing. The next one, coming to this mantra, really beautiful mantra. Maharishi has explained this mantra in Rigveda Adi Bhashya Bhumika. Maharishi says, Sa eva prajapatihi. Sa eva prajapatihi. That Paramatma is indeed the real Prajapati. He is our Malik. There is no other Malik. There is no other owner of this universe. There is no other master of all of us. That is only Sa eva Prajapati. That is only that Paramatma who is Prajapati. Christian says that Prajapati means Jesus. No, Prajapati is not Jesus. Prajapati is that Paramatma who is Malik of Jesus. Prajapati is that Paramatma who is Malik of this entire universe. Sa eva Prajapatihi Sarvasya Swami. Sarvasya Swami. He is the Swami of all of us. Jivasya Anyasya cha Jadasya Jagato Antargarbhe. That Paramatma is Swami of Jivasya Anyasya. Of Jivatma and Anya. Jivatma ke Anya, this Jad Padarth. Jadasya Jagato Antargarbhe. Madhye Antaryami Rupena Ajayamano Anuutpanno Ajaha. See, Ajayamano Anuutpanna Ajaha. Paramatma is Ajayamano. He does not take, Ja means Jananam. He does not take birth. He is the Swami of the Jad and Chetan Jagat. Jad Jagat is this universe, Prakriti, made from Prakriti, and Chetan Jagat is us, we human beings and animals who are living creatures. He is the Swami of everything. He is not everything. He is Swami of everything. And Ajayamano Anutpanno. What is Ajayamana? Anutpan. Paramatma does not get Utpanna. He is ever existing. And then he is also Ajaha. He does not come into the birth and death cycle. And Sa Nityam Charati. He is ever Nitya. He is ever eternal. This is the meaning of this mantra. One part of the meaning of this mantra, where Paramatma says Prajapatish Charati Garbhe Antarajayamano. He is the Swami of Jivatma because he resides us and he can control the birth and death of the Jivatma. Next yoni of, like I am a Jivatma, I die suddenly or I die naturally at the age of, let's say, 100 years or 80 years or 90 years. The moment I die or before I die, Paramatma knows my karmas and he will calculate and he will put me into the next birth because he is he has that Swamitva and he is ever impartial. That we must understand. And also Maharshi writes, Tat Samarthya Yadeva Vedam Sakalam Jagat Bahuda Bahu Prakaram Vijayate Vishishtat Utpadyate. Vishishtat Utpadyate. So God does not expand himself to become the universe. He says, Tat Samarthya, because of his Samarthya, because of his capability, Paramatma Sakalam Jagat Bahuda Bahu Prakaram. This universe is Jad Tattva. The Jad Prakriti is one entity. Rajagun, Tamagun, Sattvagun. The Prakriti is made of three gunas, or the combination of three gunas is called as Prakriti. This one entity of Prakriti is converted into various objects in this universe. It is converted into sun, moon, our human body, air, water, earth, whatnot is there present in the lights. See the different types of lights available in this universe. See the darkness in the universe. You see the night sky, go to a village and see the night sky, complete darkness, and you see stars in the sky. So Bahu Prakar said this universe is totally created by Paramatma from Prakriti. God does not expand himself to become universe. So that is clarified in this mantra. Because why? Because he is Ajayamano. He is Nirvikara. He does not have Vikar. Paramatma does not have any Vikar. Vikar means he does not change. He is Sa Nityam. He is Sa Nityam Bhavati. He is ever eternal and he is ever unchangeable. He does not take birth as a universe. He does not take birth in the universe. These are the qualities of Paramatma. And further Maharshi says, Tasya Yonim means Tasya. Who is that Tasya? Parabrahmano Yonim Satya Dharma Anushtanam Veda Vijnanam Eva Prapti Karanam Dhira Dhyanavantah. This Paramatma is Prapti Karanam. How can we attain this Paramatma? Rishi Munis, Dhira people know. Dhira means Rishi Munis, Yogis, Tapasvis. They know that this Paramatma is possible to be obtained, or we can realize that Paramatma only by Tasya Parabrahmano Yonim Satya Dharma Anushtanam Veda Vijnanam Eva. By following the Vedic path, by following the Satya path, the true path, by following the Dharma path, which is explained in the Vedas, only by following this only we can attain this Paramatma, we can obtain the eternal bliss of Paramatma, is known to Dhir Purush, is known to Rishi Muni Tapasvis. So that's why they did meditation of that Paramatma who is ever Nitya, who is ever unborn. They always do Dhyanavantah Dhyanam. They do Dhyana of that Paramatma. So Maharishi says Paritah Sarvatah Prekshante Yasmin Bhuvanani Vishwani Sarvani Sarve Lokastastuhu Titim Chakrire Iti Nishchayarte Tasmin Eva Parame Purushe Dhira Jnanino Manushya Mokshanandam Prapya Tastuhu Stira Bhavanti Iti Artha. जिसमें ये सब भुवन, जिस परमात्मा के अंदर स्थिता, दिस एंटायर सर्वाणी भुवनानी जिस परमात्मा के अंदर स्थित है, इनसाइड दिस परमात्मा दिस एंटायर यूनिवर्स इज स्थित. द प्रकृति इज a minute part. Paramatma is infinite, Prakriti is finite. But from human beings' point of view, the Prakriti, this universe is also looks like infinite. From Paramatma's point of view, this Prakriti is inside Paramatma. Paramatma is everywhere. He is engulfed everywhere. And inside this Paramatma, Sarvani Bhuvanani is there. It's Sthit. So, उस परमेश्वर में ज्ञानी लोग. So what happened? The Dhir Purush, they understood that if I have to realize this Paramatma, I have to follow the Dharma. If I have to realize this Paramatma, I have to follow the Satya, true path. I have to follow the Vedic path. I have to realize the Vedas and I have to follow the Vedic knowledge which my Acharya is giving me through the Vedas. So I have to follow it in my life and I have to meditate upon this Almighty God, and inside this Almighty God, this entire universe is Sthit. And this Rishi Munis who did tapasya, they attained moksha 100%. Nishchaya se moksha sukha ko prapt hoke. They attained the moksha, they attained supreme bliss. Moksha means supreme bliss. By following the Vedic path, by doing upasana of this Paramatma, they attained moksha, supreme bliss. And that Paramatma is Ajayamano. He never takes birth. And by doing upasana of that Paramatma, the Rishi Munis also escaped the birth and death. Janma Maran Adi Aane Jane Se Choot Ke. That is the moksha. Janma Maran Adi Aane Jane Se. The Jivatma, after worshipping that Paramatma, they escaped from the birth and death cycle. And Anand mein sada rehte hain. So those Jivatmas who are worshipping this Paramatma through the Vedic path, they always live in Anand. So this is the meaning of this mantra. So we must also, Maharishi also is writing that you must also worship this Paramatma who is explained in this mantra. This mantra does not speak about Avatarvad. This mantra does not speak about the present Advaitavad. This mantra speaks about the Vedic Traitavad. This mantra says Paramatma creates the universe from Prakriti. Prakriti is eternal, which is also explained in previous mantras. This Paramatma creates the universe and we are Garbhe, we are Jivatma. You come into Garbhavastha, you come into Yonis. Paramatma does not come into Garbhavastha. He does not take birth. So Jivatma, Paramatma, Prakriti is also proved in this mantra. So this is also a very, very important thing for all of us to understand, that we must worship this Prajapati, this Paramatma who is Sarvajna, who is omnipresent and who does not take birth. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.